finally, upon deeper study, when you appreciate these structural patterns in the Quran, that you just read and you're in awe of it. That's my experience. And reading the Quran, I was struck by its symmetry, its coherence on various levels. And it became quite easy to acknowledge that this extraordinary work was inspired by God and complementing the Bible and the Torah before. So it was quite a easy admission finally to see this Quran as a miracle, and if it's a miracle of power and beauty, then it's inspired. And this is why I converted, and I've been a Muslim since 2007, and I'm happy about this decision. And the more I study the Quran, the more I'm just in awe of the power and the beauty. So this is the essential reason. Literature. But because of this, I thought maybe I'll do comparative literature, and maybe I'll compare Arabic and maybe perhaps French and English literature in this program. And in preparation for that, I knew I needed to spend more time studying Arabic. So after I got out of the Navy in 1997, I went to Cairo for 2 years to study Arabic. And this is where the more I got into Arabic, the more I liked it. And then I went to graduate school at the University of California, Berkeley, and here's where I started studying classical Arabic poetry, classical Arabic literature. And this was my first exposure to the Quran. This marriage led to divorce. My family asked, "Are you going to switch back to Christianity?" And I said, "No, I'm happy as a Muslim, I'm going to stay as a Muslim." And again, the more I've studied the Quran, the more I've realized I'm in awe of this text, and it's been easy to stay as a Muslim. And I'm an academic focusing on Arabic language and literature, but I hope this is something that everyone can agree on, that this text is truly, truly extraordinary. My first book, I was focusing on Arabic poetry, my first book, and then I switched sort of doing the compositional analysis of the Quran, structure and Quranic interpretation. And I think the compositional majesty occurs on a variety of levels, on the whole Quran being put together, on an intermediate level, the individual surahs, and then even on micro level, the individual ayahs, for example, ayat al-Kursi, the way this is composed according to a symmetrical pattern. For example, it's so densely interconnected, and especially if we recall that it was revealed over a process of 23 years in different circumstances. The Prophet initially started out as a single voice talking about the judgment is very near and we need to worship the one God. And then he collected a following, and then of course he was a leader of a new community in Medina through a variety of situations, a long period of revelation. But despite all this, it's perfectly, incredibly put together, and this to me is a sign of its incredible power and beauty. So I guess I also acknowledge that. So I hope this is something where secular conservatives, we can all agree on that it is an astoundingly powerful and beautiful text, and I acknowledge that it's hard to feel that completely except when you're reading the Arabic Quran. Islamic Studies Journal and he analyzed 11 different passages in the Quran that are dealing with similar themes. And even though it's sort of repeating the same idea 11 times, same basic idea, each occurrence is particularly suited either by rhythm or words or slight emphasis here in this surah on a particular aspect, a slight emphasis in a different surah. Each one is completely situated, perfectly situated to its individual surah, and across 11 different examples. So it's a basic message. The theology is straightforward and simple, but it's never repetitive. In fact, it's surprising each time you hear it. It's not something that's apparent initially. So something it's beautiful to listen to and powerful, but then you realize how densely interconnected it is.